Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. Thank you so much for joining us again for another video, where today my friend Matt watches X-Men First Class. We are going to start working our way through the rest of the X-Men movies. I asked my patrons, I did a poll to see which series they wanted us to watch next, and they voted for X-Men. Speaking of which, today's video is brought to you by my wonderful patrons. Without their support, I would not be able to do this. So thank you guys so much. Since we're doing more Marvel stuff, we will be doing a giveaway from the MCU. The shield, the Captain America shield that I used for some of the skits, you saw in some of the backgrounds, we are all going to sign it, and we're going to do a giveaway on my Patreon. For every $5 tier is an extra entry. So if you become a $5 patron, not only will you get your name at the end of every single video, but it's also one entry for a drawing. $10 is 2 entries, $20 is 4 entries, $25 is 5 entries. So check it out, there's a lot of cool bonus stuff. Producer and above patrons get early access to select videos like this, so please consider doing that. It's been a little while since I've seen X-Men First Class. It's not one of my favorite X-Men movies, but Jeremy was telling me it's his favorite X-Men movie. So I'd really love to get into the discussion of that once we're done watching it. Pastor, where do you rank First Class in terms of the other X-Men films?
So X-Men First Class is one of the X-Men movies I've seen the least, actually. Not because I don't like it, it's just so happened that way. I haven't really seen Days of Future Past or Apocalypse as much either. I saw them in theaters and then probably once at home. I don't remember much about it, and I purposely did not watch it because of this experience. I wanted any chance I get to feel like I've seen a movie for the first time again, if that makes sense. I try to, take advantage of that. I liked it from what I could remember. I really love Michael Fassbender as Magneto. I didn't think I would, because of Ian McKellen and how good he is, but that's the most, that and James McAvoy playing Professor Xavier, he's pretty good too.
Yeah, I really like the new casting. I like the younger interpretations of these characters, kind of similar to Pastor. When you see Ian McKellen, when you see Patrick Stewart, it's hard to see anybody else in the roles, but I really like the Cold War, kind of groovy 1960s, 1970s era spy espionage James Bond feel. I haven't seen it in a while. I might regret saying this is my favorite X-Men movie, but there is some really cool stuff in it, so I'm looking forward to it.
I definitely have some issues with it. It's been a while since I've seen it as well. I think that my big complaints will still hold up because they were kind of integral into the story. So since you've seen the other 3 X-Men movies, so you do have a point of reference, any expectation or thoughts going into X-Men First Class?
Knowing that it's Jeremy's favorite, he's a very cynical person, an optimistically cynical person, which I love that about you, Jeremy. So I have high hopes, I guess. I of course am...
High in the sky hopes.
Exactly. So, as you guys know, I always give it a chance. I never let my opinion be swayed. Leaving it off, from what I can remember, Homegirl died. So I'm ready to see some people come back to life. I have no idea, I have no context moving on. Wild guess they replace some actors and actresses, probably.
There's a different continuity. I need to watch it again before I say anything, and we all need to watch it before we talk in depth about it. Jenna, what about you? You saw the original trilogy with us.
Yeah, and just to recap, that was when he thought that there was a butterfly spaceship going to come out of the water.
Yeah.
Just wanted to bring that up, just to refresh y'all's memory about how he absorbed the X-Men series.
The series is not over. There's still time.
I think it's going to be terrible. Let's do it.
All right, guys, let's get into it. X-Men First Class.
You're hungry and alone. Take whatever you want.
Try.
Mutant and proud.
Chin chin, hey.
Mutant and proud. Mutant and proud?
I don't ask for favors, Colonel. I express my expectations. Also Blut.
Or I will pull this pin and we all die.
He's here to kill you.
You'll drown. You have to let go. Calm your mind.
I thought I was alone. You're not alone.
She looks feet, got it.
You have no idea what I'd give to feel
Normal.
Oh, God.
Are you sure we can't shave your head? Don't touch my hair.
Excuse me, I'm Eric Lensher.
Charles Xavier.
Go fuck yourself. Identification, that's how it starts. And ends with being rounded up, experimented on, eliminated.
We're government agents now. We should have secret code names. I want to be called Mystique.
What are you doing?
You should be Professor X, and you should be Magneto.
Send backup now!
The weatherman is here.
You can stay and fight for the people who hate and fear you, or you can join me and live like kings.
Come on. We don't belong here.
Adapt to this.
The forecast will be chilly today.
Something that big? I need the situation, the anger.
No, the anger's not enough. He had this place built to withstand a nuclear bomb. I think he can handle you, Alex.
You want society to accept you, but you can't even accept yourself.
Woo!
Here, let me help.
I don't want to feel like a freak all the time. I just want to look
Normal. But we shouldn't be trying to fit into society. Mutant and proud.
in your natural blue form. Never be deemed beautiful. You look beautiful now.
After tomorrow, they're gonna turn on us. But you're blind, Ted. Peace was never an option.
Bulging vein, my guy.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Oh, now you look worse. Oh, it's the blue guy.
Yeah.
Blue Harry.
That's him.
Well, I prefer the real Raven. I said the real Raven. Perfection.
God's sake, Raven. Where are your clothes? Put some clothes on.
Where's Hank?
It didn't work.
Weatherman is here.
You're no match for the weatherman.
Weatherman has been taken care of.
That is so
Now, Charles!
Eric, there will be no turning back!
Charles! Don't do this, Eric!
You killed my mother. One.
The beach is secure. Call off the attack.
Eric, you said yourself, we're the better men. This is the time to prove it.
I've been at the mercy of men just following orders. Never again.
You did this.
You did.
I want you by my side. We're brothers, you and I.
Next thing you know, I'll be going bald.
You're your own team now. X-Men.
I prefer Magneto.
All right, guys, we just finished watching X-Men First Class. There were some things I didn't really like about it. It kind of held up from what I was saying before. I wasn't thrilled with the VFX. I thought a lot of it looked really campy. All the stuff with Banshee looked pretty bad, in my opinion. The suits, I realized, were from the comics. They had like the yellow and black, and they wanted to make it look like that, but it still looked kind of cheap. I feel like you could pull off the yellow and black if you wanted to, but I just don't feel like they pulled it off. I really enjoyed all the stuff with Eric in World War II and expounding upon that more. I really, really enjoyed that. When I think of the relationship between Professor X and Magneto, I think of like this long-lasting friendship, like a friendship between two guys that have been friends for like well over a decade. And that's why into their older years, there's like this level of respect and understanding. The relationship here was pretty fast, I think, to have such a strong foundation later. I don't even know if they were friends for like even a year, you know, and for them to have like such a strong bond later, I would prefer to have seen their relationship have lasted a lot longer for the like betrayal or the difference of ideology to give that more weight later on. Because right now it looks like they kind of had a common ground at the beginning, disagreed, and now they're just sort of going to be opposing forces later. Jeremy, you said that this was your favorite X-Men movie with the exception of maybe Logan. Do you still feel that way? And if you do, why do you feel that way?
Yeah, I think that's like an important delineation. Logan totally in a league of their own. As far as X-Men team movies, I don't know that this is the best. Maybe Days of Future Past is the best team movie. That said, this is all about the love triangle between Eric, Charles, and Raven, and I love that entire part. What I really like about Matthew Vaughn is that he brought a level of cool and edginess into the X-Men franchise that didn't exist before it. Talk about the suits in First Class. I know we're talking about the team suits, but like the actual tailors of like Kevin Bacon's character and Michael Fassbender's character, like the costumes and everything are really cool in this movie. Matthew Vaughn did a movie called Layer Cake that I absolutely love. I just felt like he brought a freshness and something new to it. I know how many people are just diehard fans of Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. I am too. I just love that in all of the different material that we've gotten from the X-Men, we've never really seen this version of the particular characters before. I liked seeing a young James McAvoy kind of being a womanizer. I liked seeing Magneto come from this really dark place of struggle. And at this point, like after First Class, I'm like, yeah, Magneto's right. I'm going to join the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Like Nazi hunting Magneto is the coolest thing in any of the X-Men movies. That scene when he's in the Argentinian bar and he throws the knife and it hits the dude and then he recaptures it, stabs him back in the hand. It's just like, it's super cool. This is the Magneto Origins movie that I wanted to see. Big fan of it. Totally echo a lot of what Holden said. The team, kind of dumb, like the actual X-Men in this movie under Charles. Banshee's a silly character. Angel's a silly character when she's spitting fireballs and all, and he's screaming. There's some goofy stuff in it that I was willing to overlook because I really like the Cold War angle and just the fact that he kind of made it a more British spy movie, and that's refreshing and something totally different.
I did really like Kevin Bacon's character. I think that he was a really awesome villain. I liked the fan service. I feel like there was a lot of fan service attempted in this. I really liked Magneto coming in full Magneto getup at the very end. Pastor, as a huge X-Men fan, what about you? What did you think of First Class?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender the most. The rest of the movie for me was the rest of the characters for me were kind of like okay. Their relationship was, I guess, going into it was what I was interested in anyway. Maybe that's why I'm biased with that. Like, I disagree with you a little bit, Holden, on the fact that I think there are relationships where you barely meet someone and things just click and you can't explain it. Maybe it's because I know a little bit more of their friendship beyond Bryan Singer and Fox's telling of the X-Men. I know what they're like in the comics and I know what they're like in other mediums. It is a very weird relationship. So the fact that it had a weird origin, I think it works, like for me anyway. One thing I didn't like how they did Emma Frost. I think she was like an android. She didn't really have a backbone in the movie. When I saw that she was on the roster, so to speak, I was like, oh, I wonder how they're gonna do this. You know, she looked good, but it didn't feel like Emma Frost to me. I think the movie was a good tease at the X-Men, but we already knew, having 3 X-Men movies, we knew what to expect, or we knew what they could have done, and I don't think they delivered it as well as I would have liked them to. But I definitely enjoy the cast, especially of Magneto and Professor X, and I think they did a good job bringing Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, you know, in their younger younger years. I think it was really good.
Jenna, what about you? As somebody who was kind of on the fence about this movie anyway, what did you think?
Jeremy, your comments make me question your judgment.
Wow.
I see myself out. Thank you.
Before we started the movie, Jeremy was like, this is my favorite X-Men movie, and that's all I thought about this whole time is, when are we getting to the part where I feel like he would actually like it? I don't know that we got there. What happened?
The most powerful villain of all, the Weatherman.
It's just all the references to the previous movies, like how they got to the names. It all just seemed so... You couldn't have come up with a better backstory or like a better way to have like, we're just now the last line of the movie. We're just the X-Men now.
It sounds like kids coming up with like spy names. Like, we're gonna be, I'll be Mystique and you be Professor X. And that I feel that too.
Wouldn't watch it again. It didn't keep my interest. Sorry.
All right, Matt, as a huge lover of superhero movies yourself, what did you think of First Class?
I couldn't stand this. Real bad, campy, tropey, beautiful, isn't it? It was just so meta that I had to keep retracing my steps to the previous movies to understand it and to really, it makes sense why people that like love X-Men, makes sense. Like it pays so much to you. For somebody that is not so invested in it, it was just real tough. Some of the CGI was a little rough. You know me, I don't really care much about the CGI, but it was actually distracting. Not to be negative, but it was very forgettable. I will say in the very beginning that I had a problem connecting who was who, and I think that's probably some of my fault because it's been a while since we've done X-Men. There was a few good moments in it. I'm not saying that it was real bad, but there was something good there, and I think it was a bygone Jim moment. I'm gonna call it a bygone Jim moment. You want society to accept you when you haven't accepted yourself. So good, and obviously X-Men, the thing that I do respect about X-Men is they echo so much, echo's not even the right word, they talk about division and accepting yourself and then the struggle with that. So I always appreciate that from X-Men. They did deliver that. So there's some high points there, but just how it was delivered is my big dilemma with it.
I enjoyed the original trilogy more than this. I think all three of them more than this one. There are some of the newer X-Men movies that I did enjoy a lot more than this. There were some wonderful scenes in this movie. I think that coin scene where it goes in Kevin Bacon's head, but you see the reaction on Professor X, I thought was really cool. I loved all the World War II stuff, and it totally makes sense why Michael Fassbender, why Magneto would want that revenge. And you have Charles, who kind of echoes the altruism, you know, killing him isn't going to make you feel any better, you know. And of course, he doesn't care or believe that. For me, I would rate this movie probably about a 5.5.
Being a comic fan and knowing that they tried to give us the origin story didn't hit the mark for me, except for Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy. So because of them two, and the Logan cameo, of course, I give it a 5.
No, I don't disagree with a lot of what you guys are saying. Your rating, Pastor, I'm a little disappointed in you. The rest of these guys, I can understand. It's fine. I guess I'm gonna go just stand Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy, similar to she did with Tom Hardy in Venom, and I'm gonna give this movie a 15. No, I'm just kidding. If I were gonna give it a real grade, I would say maybe a 6.5 or a 7. Like I said, I really like those three primary characters. The movie itself has got some serious issues. If it would have just been Magneto, Nazi Hunter, all over that.
The next thing you know, I'm gonna be losing my hair. Worst line of the movie. This could have, just a few tweaks and this could have been like a terrible comedy. I give it a 5.
Let me think. 4.5.
Well, this was fun. I think you'll like some of the other X-Men movies, but maybe not.
You said that many times. They all suck.
I know. You know what? I really do think you're gonna like Logan when we get to it. I really do.
I absolutely loved Hugh Jackman's just quick little you. That was so well done.
I really think you're gonna like Logan. Some of the others, I don't think so. That's it, everybody. Leave us a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below letting us know what you think of all of our opinions and what you think of First Class. Consider subscribing if you want to see more fun content like this. Also consider joining me on Patreon to get early access to select videos like this. As always, we appreciate you watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care.